Hey, how's it going, everybody? Here we go again. Well, I'm still working on my car, but I go from one. I get tired of doing one thing, and I start doing another thing. And here lately, um, I've been waiting on the headers. I'm trying to get the headers all done, and they're coming. But what I did was I purchased that kit that you put together. Here's some of the pieces. I don't know if you can see this. Let me turn this phone around and I'll show you what I'm doing. Here's some of the pieces that come with the building the headers. And you snap these little blocks together, and that's what you twist and turn these things and get them all fabricated all down the car. And that's what you go by to make your headers when the tubes finally come. Well, I've been waiting for over a month for these particular ones. They're a 2-inch kit. It's called IC Engine Works, and that kit was about $600. So, but I've got most of them on the car. I got the car covered up. This is not what I'm here to tell you about, but I'll tell you about it anyway. I'm working on the headers. Because look over here, I finally today is Friday, got all the header tubes, the JU bins are all in these boxes right here. So I'm gonna get busy doing that, but I'm more excited about something else. While all this waiting was going on, I want to show you. I do CAD designing. I taught myself how to do the computer-aided designing on the computer, and I'm going to, I built a sheet metal manifold. I don't know if y'all saw all that. This is for the SB2, and I'm going to be using a quadrajet. Well, at least to start off. I got another top, but I bought a $1,000 quadrajet to run. So I built this manifold, and we'll see what happens. I mean, that's my own theory and everything, but I kind of got more serious, and I ended up with another set of heads. And the SB2 motor is what I'm going to use, and if I ever get out there. Okay, this is just, I'm planning ahead. SSBS, super stock BS. There's AS, which is splayed valve, BS, which is canted valve, and then the CS, SSAS, SSBS, and SSCS. CS is a inline head. The SB2 is a canted valve head. Well, anyway, somebody was selling a really nice set of heads, and these things are awesome. I mean, I know who did them, and I know who did the flow work, and they flow 400 easy. It's kind of like a miniature SR20. These things are just incredibly awesome, and there's nothing really. There was something wrong with them. The piston tagged, the valve tagged the piston, and it bent the valve, and it hurt the cylinder, and they didn't want to use them again. Well, they're aluminum. I went ahead and I made the repairs to them already. Had them all checked out, and everything's good, but. This is my CS motor, and I haven't got anything going, but if I do, I'm going to use this. But the point is, I'm going to build another sheet metal manifold for this motor, and because these heads flow so much, I used this pattern. I traced out and digitized this whole pattern to make these pieces that we're starting with. And the company that I use, I just found these company. It's called Sand Cut Send, and it's online at sandcutsend.com. And basically, you send them the file you have. You got to create your own file. This is not for everybody. I mean, I like to do it, so I'm doing it. You send them the file that you created. They laser cut everything out, and then they send it back to you. Send, cut, send. It's all skin packed and all that stuff. But the point I'm getting at is I'm showing you the beginning stages of building a manifold. This is going to be the this is going to be the plenums. You know, when you tilt it up, it'll be this part right here. This will. And I'm still working on the runners and all that stuff. But those are all going to be CNC machined also. But check this out. I mean, you know, I made the pattern. I sent this to them, and these are all the beginning parts of a sheet metal intake manifold. Because those particular heads, there is no carbureted manifold. They're actually off of injected type setup, and so I made these plates and made sure that the runners, bolt holes, and water holes all line up, you know, perfectly. This will be welded. This is the bottom of the sheet metal manifold. These are the plates that are going to make the runners, and then it'll come up. I'll machine all the, you know, have the tops all designed and machined, and I'm just, you know, I just like doing this stuff, and it's kind of cool, and you know, it's all my own theory of stuff, but this is how it starts, and of course these will be welded. These are the runners. The runner, you know, Cut Sand, they do flat stuff, and so basically two-dimensional. I've already designed the ports on the computer, which will be CNC machined. That's all you're seeing nowadays is CNC machined parts, but the runners will be 4 individual runners, 2 together, because this is very hard to weld with 2 individual runners. But it's going to be my CSS motor, CS. But anyway, I just want to show you how cool that is, and you know, I kind of like all this. And of course, I got an aluminum welder. I can weld it all up, and making another sheet metal manifold. That one I made bending all the parts and pieces by hand, and you know, we haven't tried it out yet, but you know, it's going to do whatever it's going to do. Super stock racing. Oh, and this part right here, this is what I was telling you. You know, whoops, this will be bent in the middle, and once the runners are made, this will be the V part, the part that the runners, you can see down in here, connect to, and that's the shape that it's going to take. This is the part, I guess you would call that basically the plenum of the manifold. And then after all that's made, I'll make the top. But I just wanted to show you that it's kind of cool, a lot of fun. All this stuff is very clean and neat. They do a very good job. On the computer, I already put a notch in the center right here and right here. So when I stick this in the bender, you know, I'll know exactly, once I get the runners all set, I'll know exactly what angle this needs to be bent up so that it forms the plenum of the base of the manifold. Then the top needs to be built, you know, for the carburetor to sit on it. But I'll show you that once I get it all going. But yeah, this is my quadrajet. We're gonna see what happens, and you know that I'll even tell you, once these headers are done, I'll try to show you over here. It's kind of dark, but another thing I don't think I told you about is I got the front end of this thing on here, and that's all done. See, front end's all on. It's looking pretty good. I started with this that header kit. See, you put the flanges on here. You start off with some steel pieces, and then you make these things and you twist them and you turn them and you get them around all the stuff that's in the way until you end up, you can't really see them, but get down here, I'll show you. All the tubes are tucked nicely right up on the bottom. I've only done the driver's side. I haven't done the passenger side yet, but I made all these pieces, got them all going directly into the what do you call it down here? The merge collectors. And so what I'm going to do is start snapping those, they're individual tubes, I'm going to unsnap them in strategic locations to make marks on those boxes of tubing those J-bins that I got, and this will start coming together. Once this whole, my SB2 motor, it's done. I mean, it's not together. It's everything's wrapped up. All the heads have been done. I got everything I need, everything. And one good weekend of cleaning and bolting together all this stuff will, make this thing start coming together a whole lot quicker. So that's what I'm doing. And I got these all tucked where they're following the main frame rail. And so if it does happen to do wheelies, when it comes back down, it won't smash them. So that kit was expensive, but it set me back a little, not a lot. It's just time. It took them on. They didn't have it. Nobody had it in stock. But now I got it. And so now I'm building them. And so, this is the setup, SB2. Everything goes into place where you put it. And once the headers are done, the other thing I'm building, well, I already built it, is an engine startup stand. And I made it out of an industrial piece of material that, when you snap all this stuff together, you end up with something that you can actually start the engine up. Make sure it has oil pressure before I take it to the engine dyno to see what the numbers are, so I can get a converter for that thing. And that SV2 motor, it was an 85 to 9,500 RPM deal. And when I bought it from the guy, it was complete. It was a circle track motor, NASCAR actually. And I got the dyno sheet, 892 horsepower or something like that. It was a super speedway deal. And I had to send the heads off to get them redone for drag racing, because that speedway stuff is all restrictor plate deals. They didn't have a sheet metal intake. They had this. I still got it. It had something like this, one of those spider intakes, restrictor plate. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm making a C motor, trying to be Mr. Big Stuff. A motor. There is possibly an A motor. I know where the parts and pieces are, but I think I'm doing enough as it is. I'm not doing anything. I'm just messing around. So once I get that motor running, though, just a little bit of wiring, getting it all hooked up, and of course I'll have all that on this video deal. Let you see it as I go, and I don't know, maybe one of these. Oh, what I was going to tell you is super stock racing. You qualify. Now I'm talking about NHRA. I may never get there, but if I do, you qualify off of an index. That's the thing about all this. You qualify off an index, but when the racing day, when Sunday comes or Saturday or whenever they start eliminations, you write your number on the window, and then it becomes a bracket race. But it's kind of fun to race, try to qualify against an index. It just kind of tells you where you are in your horsepower numbers, and if everything you did along the way is paying off for you. But since it's a bracket race, it's not like competition eliminator. Competition eliminator, the green light is off of an index. That's where you got to make all the power you can, because you're racing off of an index. Okay, but that's what I'm doing. The header stuff's coming. Got the box of tubes over there. I haven't opened them up yet, but it's just 12 J-bins, 2-inch, and we'll see what happens. This is the, you can see the flange on here. This is the passenger side setup head. Got the stainless steel flanges on here, and all those little tubes, they go in here. And you get it, you tighten it up. This comes with some adapters, and you start twisting and turning this stuff where you need it to go to get around all that stuff under the car. So that's what I'm doing, and we'll see what happens. Good luck to everybody. It looks like season's winding down, so hopefully, the winter time will come. Got my new lights. Well, I did a lot of polishing, trying to get this. I shot a lot of clear on it because I knew I was going to be sanding down quite a bit, and I've been working on all of that, but this little thing's coming together, and hopefully one of these days we'll be rocking and rolling, or at least rocking. So y'all take care. Good luck to everybody. We'll see you down the road. Adios.